Good morning, Grace Covenant. It is Thursday during the second week of Lent. Really, it's the first full week of Lent, but it's the second week of Lent. You see my dogs walking around. There's Buck. There's Huckleberry. We're just outside enjoying this beautiful day for a little while. And I've been thinking still a lot about what we talked about in worship on Sunday about finding your ground and going to ground. And I'm outside in this hammock right now. And this is a place where I can find ground. It's interesting because I'm kind of elevated off the ground here, but it is a place of being held, a place where I can just, like, all my weight can be supported by this hammock, and it's a good embodied sensation that reminds me of the way God holds me. Our friend at Grace Covenant, a beloved GCPC member, Heath Rada, talks about the hammock and how important that metaphor is for him and understanding God's love, just enveloping him. And I appreciate him sharing that with me at difficult times in this last year. Also, this morning in the Lenten Devotional, I was struck with how the last few days really work together in this devotional. That there's language about Denise Anderson shares about how she's been doing this work as a woman of color in a white denomination, this work of anti-racism and dismantling white supremacy, and how much she encounters opposition and defensiveness, and I'm sure just very harmful reactions to her amazing and just transformative ministry in our denomination. And she talked about how Jesus, how Peter kind of reacted against the hard truth that Jesus taught, and how we do, like human beings, it's like hard truth hits a nerve in us, and it's hard to not react with defensiveness, especially when we feel like we're being accused of something, or we aren't sure of our own inner resources to deal with it. And that's why then it's interesting to me that the next few days are like Hannah Garrity's image this week is this beautiful paper cutout of a womb. She calls it Sleep Unborn, but it's really like the Psalm 22 is what she's using, that to God indeed shall all who sleep in the earth bow down. Before God shall bow all who go down to the dust, and I shall live for him. I shall live for God. And these different cutouts in this paper cutout that she has are people in different poses of prayer. And then when you see it all together, it's this really dynamic image that of praise and love and process. To me, it's really an unfolding. That's a beautiful image, and so it made me think of how deeply this work that we're doing as a church, Grace Covenant, and as a universe right now, this transformative work we're doing, how deeply it calls us to the place where we are the most grounded and embraced and gestating in God's womb of transformation. So the defensiveness in this work comes from not knowing that we're loved and not not really trusting that we're loved or that we're lovable. And the more we trust God's hand in this work, the more that we understand ourselves in the hammock, in God's embrace, gestating in the womb of our Creator, who wants us to be fully alive and fully in right relationship with one another. The more that that's where we come from in this work, the less defensive and afraid we'll be. Because mutual liberation is about freedom for all of us. And listening to our Black, Indigenous, and brown siblings tell us the truth is a gift. It is a gift that they would still trust white spaces like the Presbyterian Church as a place where they would even endeavor to speak the truth to us as white siblings. And if we count it as a gift, then we know it's from God. And if we know it's from God, then we know it's connected to this utter place of love. So there's Huckleberry. Who knows what he's got? A bird, a squirrel. Sometimes he barks at planes. But my prayer for you today, Grace Covenant, is that you can find whatever the ground is for you, whatever that place is for you, where your body can actually completely sink in to God's love for you, where you aren't striving or tensing or grasping, but you are trusting and you are resting in God's embrace. If you get enough of that visceral data in your body, this work will not be hard for you. This work will be a gift. And that is my prayer for us. Blessings on your day. Bye-bye.